Sometimes I feel a little bit like I'm a New Yorker cartoonist who, instead of making a drawing, pulls out a saw. I'm the head and sometimes sole member of a somewhat amoebic group of artists in New Orleans called Sabatom Studios, which is an acronym. It stands for Splinters and Blisters and Tetanus, oh my, because we largely work with dirty old splintery wood, rusty metal, and the like. The piece is called The Burden of the Beast. We, humanity, are the beast, and it is sort of an allegory of where we are in the world right now.
Nobody wants to get hit over the head with a message about sea level rise in a very kind of dark, doomsday manner. I think that's what's so interesting about Walker's work. He does address these serious topics, but in a way that is approachable.
There's a bit of improvisation with my process. I love things that have a story to them. I use reclaimed materials partially for aesthetic. I love the way they look, but also is part of the statement of the piece. This is actually almost entirely made out of reclaimed materials from houses which have been damaged by hurricanes and the effects of climate change. I actually took the siding from old houses. The roof shingles we actually made out of fences that were destroyed during Hurricane Ida. The legs are 13 feet long, which if you're building anything new along the bayou, you've got to build it 13 feet off the ground. It's the 100-year flood mark. There's something funny about in New Orleans, your door frame is never straight. It's all built on swamps, so everything's always settling. So if you look at the door frame from the front, you can see it's just kind of out askew. It is enough to make the framing an absolute nightmare. I've always been a math kid. It definitely plays a huge part, but I like to hide the math. I don't want you to see it and think that looks like a math problem, and it is full of math problems. I don't want it to look like sacred geometry. I do like it to lean more heavily into the folk art. I walk this funny line. Obviously, if something's this big, it needs to be engineered, but I like it to feel a lot more handmade. This was my first big piece going out to Burning Man, biggest thing I'd ever done. And as we were coming in, a hurricane for the first time in like 80 years was coming up through, it came up through California, was heading straight through the desert. And I was getting dismayed, and then I remembered this whole thing is about persevering in the face of a hurricane. So we carried on, and while we were at Burning Man, I had a panel. I sat for a panel discussion.
And I got to listen to him talk about his work, particularly the large Bison piece, Burden of the Beast.
And we followed up after the event.
And I knew that it would resonate with our community here in Hampton Roads.
It's based off the North American plains bison, which was on the brink of extinction and carried on. When there's a storm coming through, the bison, they understand it in a way that they'll actually run the opposite direction. And as a result, they'll wind up in that storm for less time. So it's, a perfect metaphor for weathering a storm, for getting through it. I also just love the image of it. It's a beautiful silhouette. It's just kind of this classic American icon of strength. You're supposed to have this sort of sense of nostalgia. My goal was to make it feel like everybody's grandmother's house. Like it's just sort of supposed to have this element that feels like it's from your past. My style is large-scale dreamscape symbolist folk art. One of my biggest inspirations is the Symbolism movement. They sort of took the inherent meanings of different imagery and animals and biblical characters and mixed them all together to kind of put together a new statement, and that's what I kind of feel like I like to do. Zozobot is actually about artificial intelligence. Zozobot is a giant robot clown toy. It's not so much a commentary on artificial intelligence and the dangers of it. It's more how we interact with it and saying that's really important and we need to think about it. It's sitting down and he's staring through a scope into his hand, and that hand is perfectly sized for a human to come down and sit, lean into, and look back up the scope. And it's sort of saying that, artificial intelligence, it does have its capacity to learn quickly and give us these answers, but what it's learning about humanity is it's learning how we treat one another. That's how it's going to learn to be human. And if it does wind up destroying us, it's kind of our fault.
For 2 years now, we have been working together to create this amazing project, and I'm really excited for our community to experience it.
I like to start as dreamy as possible and then figure out how to make the impossible possible.